Oh, sorry, I forgot to add myself to the stage. Well, hi everybody, welcome over. I'm playing Tell Me Why. If you don't know what it's about, you probably do at this point, but if you don't, it's a story-based game about some kids who suffered some trauma, and they're coming back. Well, the boys come back to a small town. They're twins. One of them's transgender, and they're both trying to solve kind of the mystery of what happened with their mom, and the town's kind of adjusting them and vice versa. So I put a summary that doesn't come quite up to this episode, but I'll give you the general idea in the description. We got a lot of people here already. Scuzzbopper, hello. Where's Waldo? Hello. Dundum Mifflin, popcorn, yellow striped smile. I'm not sure what exactly that means, but cool. The Troy fam, hey Zod. Well, hey, back to you. Curious, who was the one that actually got me playing this game. Hey Zod, I'm currently nursing some kind of sprain in my foot. I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope you get better soon. Drew Harrison, hello again, lovelies. Hello to you too. I guess let's get right into this game. Just tell me if you're hearing audio, for one. Sometimes I forget to set this up right. And then also if the volume is good compared to my voice. We're in chapter 3 of 3. Just started chapter 3 last time. I suspect we have a total of 2 episodes left. I mean, 2 streams left, I would guess offhand. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to turn off a little bit of light. I'm having trouble seeing the screen. Screen looks a little purple to me, but maybe it's just me and I need to get used to the lighting. Okay, sorry. I'm going to turn off one more light. That helps some. Okay, I forgot where we left off last time. Are we trying to get into the house? Audio and visual so far. Well, that's good. Oh, we're probably checking out this.
You want to take another look at the picture? It might help.
Oh, yeah, there's that ladder going up into the attic. Oh, there we go. Then give me a little white circle.
What do you think is up there?
I don't know. I'm trying not to speculate. My brain was going to some real dark places.
We don't have to do this. We might not like what we find.
When has that ever stopped us?
Yeah, it is pretty dark. I'll turn it up a little bit.
What do you think is up there?
I don't know. I'm trying not to speculate. My brain was going to some real dark places.
Don't worry. Whatever's up there, I'll protect you.
We'll see how chivalrous you feel when you've got bats in that perfectly coiffed hair.
What do you think is up there?
I don't know. I'm trying not to speculate. My brain was going to some real dark places.
It's probably just storage. We're gonna find like 13 years of National Geographic or something.
So why would she keep it a secret then?
Okay. I guess I kept doing that to move this along. But I guess it just kept starting the dialogue.
The handle should be behind this.
There it is.
It's opening up.
The secret keeper always did store all the best secrets in the clouds.
Yep. Come on, let's find a way to climb up there.
A ladder? Ah, there we go, a ladder.
Can you see anything?
Nope. Nada.
Oh, I never did the story readings? Oh, shoot. I forgot that you're supposed to go back to those.
Here, found a switch.
Holy shit. Well, that shaved a few years off my life.
Is that what's that character called? That scary guy? I'm sorry, I forget.
Whoa.
I have to admit, this is not what I expected to find up in the loft.
Her story.
Look, she left us something.
The Mad Hunter, that's right.
It's got a combination lock with letters.
Do you think she hid the code somewhere in all this?
Knowing Mary Ann, probably.
Well, you want to do this?
Yeah. Let's start here. It looks like that little piece should move, but it's stuck.
Maybe these need to be done in order. The Mad Hunter seems to be first. Recognize this?
Yeah. It's from the story where the goblins tricked the Mad Hunter.
It looks like it, but it's different, right? Can you check the book?
It moves. Oh. Some of these parts are buttons.
So check the Book of Goblins. Impressed all the fairy lights still work? Yeah. Yeah, the place is in remarkably good shape. How do we read the Book of Goblins? Ah, here we go. So we probably want to read about the Mad Hunter. The goblins tricked the Mad Hunter. Maybe this one. Hopefully that muted my thing for a second. Once upon a time, in a castle just beyond the ancient and deep forest, the Mad Hunter was punished by the Gold Lady for failing to return with the wise princess. For your failure, said the Gold Lady, I will take your left hand. You will return to the ancient and deep forest and hunt the wise princess. And if you can bring her back, I will return your hand to you. Fail again, I will take your right hand. So it looks like maybe take the left hand and the right hand. Mad Hunter could hunt with just his right hand, but if he lost both hands, he would never be able to hunt again and could no longer be a Mad Hunter, but only a Mad Man. So the Mad Hunter returned to the ancient and deep forest, searching with his piercing eyes for the wise princess. The crafty goblins were out searching for mischief when they saw the Mad Hunter on the prowl. We cannot let him find the princess, said the goblins, and so they devised a plan. It was wash day, and the princess had hung her beautiful gown out to dry. They stole it from the line and stuffed it full of straw, and then returned to where the Mad Hunter was scouring the paths of the forest. Oops. As the Mad Hunter turned down a path that would have led him to the big wooden house, the goblins danced the straw princess in and out of view in the opposite direction. The ruse worked. The hunter fixed his piercing eye on them and followed. Through the day and into the night, they led him away from the true princess. As night fell, the crafty goblins realized the error of their plan. The Mad Hunter was now hunting them. If he caught them, he would not be so kind. So they put their heads together to come up with a plan. It did not take them long to realize where they should go. They led the Mad Hunter to the edge of the deep and icy lake, and when he came into view, they weighed the fake princess down with stones and dropped her into the frigid water, careful not to plunge into the depths themselves, lest the moon hag take her revenge on them. The Mad Hunter removed his clothing and dove in after the fake princess. He followed the shape of the sinking princess deep into the chilly water, down below where ice covered the lake's surface. Finally, he caught her, but when he spun her toward him, he realized she had no head and that her body was stuffed with straw. Then he felt a slippery fin brush his shoulder as the moon hag loomed overhead. The next morning, the princess went to retrieve her gown from the clothing line and found that it was gone. She immediately suspected the goblins of mischief and called, "Goblins, did you take my gown?" The goblins emerged from their cave and nodded sadly. "Now what will I wear?" asked the princess, sad and angry that she had lost her only dress. "Let us explain," said the goblins. So they told the princess the story of the Mad Hunter, and then they produced his clothing, which was a bit large for the princess, but much warmer than her beautiful gown. She immediately forgave them. "Thank you, my friends," she said, "for rescuing me and for this clothing, which will keep me much warmer in the winter than my beautiful gown." The Mad Hunter was forced to remain below the lake with the moon hag, but she did not kill him, because even reduced to just one hand, he was too useful a servant. Lo, he plotted the day he would emerge to once again hunt the wise princess and earn back his left hand. And that is a story of how the crafty goblins rescued the wise princess from the Mad Hunter. I wonder if that's the one for this. So I wonder what we're supposed to select here. Or even if that, okay, so maybe select his hand.
The Mad Hunter still has 2 hands here.
So this was either before the gold lady cut off his other one or after he earned it back?
Which either makes it before most of the stories or after.
Yeah, at some point when she was running away from whatever the hell the Mad Hunter meant to Marianne.
Huh. A pink flower. Was that in the original picture? Did she have that flower? Is that like a innocence lost kind of thing?
Let's see. Let me look at the book again. Okay, so I wonder if are you trying to recreate this? Can't remember if it's relevant, but I think there's a story of him earning back his hand. Maybe. Oh, there's another Mad Hunter story later on. I'm going to do the contents page 2. Thank you. Let's see. The Goblins Tricked the Mad Hunter. I think that's the one we just read. Yeah. And also there's tabs, which I think the Mad Hunter gets his hand back. Yeah, I guess we can take a look at the Mad Hunter gets his hand back. But first, before we get into that, I want to see if, let's see, if studying this page will tell us anything about what to do with a wall. So there are those 3 flowers. The left hand is on there. Let's see. Okay, so. Oh, but you can't. Oh, here we go. Okay, deselect that hand.
Never mind. That's nothing. I'm really grasping at straws here. The princess is running away from the Mad Hunter.
Who was sent by the gold lady, according to the story.
Do you think the gold lady could have... Actually, I'm not sure.
Once upon a time, there was a young princess who felt hopeless.
It's not the same title, so I guess that counts as a difference.
Oh, we're looking for differences.
The title is different.
Okay. So we're looking for things that are different. Yeah, so that would be different. Oops.
Okay, spot the differences.
So I wonder if it's... I don't think that tree was there.
Huh. No goblets.
Yeah. In the original.
That's it. Whoa.
What's in there? Tyler, see that little light? I think we need to solve this one next.
Pictures, letters. Have you ever seen any of these?
All the pictures of Marianne I've ever seen were the ones hanging on the walls.
An artsy environmentalist. Yep, that sounds like Marianne's exact kind of catnip. Did you know she studied engineering?
No. It looks like she changed her major to visual arts.
I don't think she actually got it changed. The paper's not signed and it's all wrinkled, like someone tried to throw it away. Oh, poor thing.
Why would she keep an old drawing of a pet in here?
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of her that young.
I think that's her mom in the background.
I can't believe she was a ballet dancer. Marianne.
And a good one, too.
God, that's so not her. The gold lady. That was definitely her mom.
So, did Marianne grow up kinda rich?
Maybe. Would have been nice to have some of that.
Marianne, I can't do this anymore. You deserve better than cliche bullshit. It's not you, it's me. But the truth is, it's all just been too much to deal with. I've realized I'm just not ready. Maybe if we could have dealt with all of this in our own, without your mom constantly putting pressure on us, things could have been different. But the damage is done. It's probably too late for that now. I'm so sorry. You were an amazing person and you made me a better man. I hate myself for doing this, but I feel like we'll both be better off apart. There I go with the cliches again. Please don't ever stop being who you are. Here, but I'm gone, Brent.
Could this guy have been any more cryptic?
Tyler, see that little light? I think we need to solve this one next.
See that little light? Which little light? Oh. Her cruel parents kept her locked away in their musty palace.
There's the gold lady again. She's all over the board. There was a figure of her in that stash by the Mad Hunter painting, right?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe all of this is related to what we found in there.
Hey, I can move the piece next to the gold lady.
All these pictures. They look like
Is the gold lady setting the animals free?
Judging from the broomstick, I'd say she's...
The princess dancing, playing violin, spinning wool. I guess this is stuff she did for fun?
Notice how unhappy she looks in all these pictures? I don't think she was having any fun.
Yeah, she sure had a lot of time on her hands for crafts for a single mother. Yeah, I could see that, especially from if you take this literally. It feels like this is supposed to be a little metaphorical of them uncovering their past, but I don't know. It's definitely surprising. It's not what I expected to find up here.
The wise princess looks like she's trying to run away.
And she's being watched by the gold lady.
So, oh, well, probably, I'm guessing to the one on the far right for engineering. Yeah, so I thought the bird, because that bird in the cage, ballet, because she's good at ballet, and here I think here we go.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, she might have started this project before she had kids. That's a good point. Oh, come
Figured
on.
anything out yet?
Nope.
I'm guessing engineering here for her schooling. And then oh, what should this one be?
Huh. What's the gold lady doing?
Oops.
I guess that's not it.
We should go take another look at Marianne's childhood photos.
Is that it?
It's opening.
What's in there this time?
Let's see. I always like to read the letter last. That's a house.
Is that Carol?
Yeah, and Sam. Look at him. He's so young and happy.
Somerbury Park, Kodiak Island. That's a ways away from where they're at. The good people.
Salmonberry Park. Huh. Is that some kind of commune?
Looks like it. So weird to imagine her living in a community like that with, other people.
The weirdest part is how they all seem to love her. Where was prom queen Marianne when the whole town was turning on us? Wow. She worked for a watchmaker in Juneau before she moved to Delos. No wonder she was so handy.
Here's my Delos Crossing pal's number. Let him know you're interested in the house he's selling. Huh.
Her father.
Marianne, I hope this letter finds you, but since you didn't have any contact information, I'll have to send it to your aunt and hope for the best. I'm writing to inform you that your mother passed away last week. Oh, wow. We just had her funeral reception. The house has been filled with people all day. Friends, family, colleagues, and church members. It's now 11 p.m. and I'm sitting alone at the kitchen table surrounded by dozens of trays of food, flowers, and sympathy cards. Your cousin Adie brought in a beautiful photo album full of our holiday pictures in Laconer. You were there in all of them, but you weren't here today. We haven't heard from you in 4 years and can only hope you made it to Alaska, wherever you are, and that you and your children are both safe. Your mother had been sick and depressed for years, and you can imagine why. The pain of being shunned by her own daughter, knowing she would never get to see her grandchild grow up. It spread through her body like cancer and consumed her completely. All this suffering simply because you ran away like a, temperamental little girl instead of accepting her help when you got pregnant out of wedlock after dropping out of college and without a penny to your name. Boy, can you lay on this guilt trip any harder, I guess. She only stepped up to help because she knew you weren't ready to raise a child properly, Marianne. A mother's duty doesn't end when her children leave home. Now that you're a mother yourself, I hope you'll begin to understand that good parenting isn't about coddling children. It's about providing for them and shaping them into people they're supposed to become, whether they like it or not. I won't trouble you again. You've made your intentions clear. I just thought you should know. Dad. Oh, nice.
What the hell? Marianne was pregnant in 1992, before she even got here.
Before us? Do we have a long-lost sibling out there somewhere?
It's possible, but she could have given it up or miscarried. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. Do you think we could track down her father?
You mean the grandfather she never told us about? I don't think I want to.
You're not at all excited about having more family.
You saw the letter. I don't think we want any part of that.
Fine. Let's keep digging. This just lit up, so I think we're supposed to try this one next.
One day she took her tiara and ran away to the forest.
What's this?
Hmm.
This looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
dinner party. I wonder if this will be in the story. And the princess beer fix the house princess's party. Let's check that one out. 15. I feel like we might have read this one before, but let's do it again. Once upon a time in a deep and ancient forest, the princess was melancholy because it was the 1-year anniversary of when she had run away from home. Sensing her sadness, her forest friends showed up at her door. They were headed by the pelican, pious and attentive, and organized by the moose, stalwart and farsighted. The old bear was there with his claws so sharp, as well as the big frog prattling away. Even the haughty muskrat, who almost never had time for anyone, had come. The bear invited her to ride on his back, promising no wolf would harry her path. And then the animals led her to a fairy glen where a fabulous party had been prepared. There was a buffet of seafood the pelican had served from her never-emptying beak, and the air was filled with winking fairy lights the moose had arranged after clouds filled the sky, and the gregarious frog mixed up fizzing drinks. Only the muskrat had done nothing in particular, mooching off everybody else's hard work. The princess had a very good time at her party, such a good time that she forgot to say thank you to any of her friends. Noticing this, the fairies devised a bit of mischief. When the princess went to open her gifts, she found 3 identical boxes at the edge of the glen. Puzzled, she turned back and gasped. The entire party had vanished. Because you have taken your friends for granted, called the naughty fairies, we have hidden them from you, but we like games. Guess who has given you each of these presents, and you'll get your friends back. Yeah, we read that to figure out what friend was each. But is it the same for this? Is it related to this story too? She took her tiara and ran. Oh, I got on the party path because of the middle one, but maybe let me see if there's something about running away. Two thieves, princess makes new friends. Bear and the prince. I'm not. Let's see. Took her tiara and ran away to the forest. I really don't know. Let's look at this again.
What's that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
This is the princess's house.
Oh, so are we trying to retrace the path from her running away? Let's see what.
That's the Gold Lady's castle.
Gold Lady's castle. Oh, where are we?
Some sort of clock?
Oh, so she's. Okay, so the castle should probably be the first location. Oh. Okay. Here, let's go look at the Hi, Peanut Shotzi. It is going great. We're just playing some Tell Me Why. All right, so I think we got to put together a timeline here. Nope.
Salmonberry
Kodiak
Park. Huh.
June
Is that some
1992.
kind of commune?
Looks like it. So weird to imagine her living in a community like that with, other people.
Both of her parents kind of sound like jerks. I would have run away too.
So she got the letter in 1996.
Is that Carol?
Yeah, and Sam. Look at him. He's so young and happy.
Wow. She worked for a watchmaker in Juneau before she moved to Delos. No wonder she was so handy.
So that was July to August 92. Let's look at July to August. Okay, so that's June.
Park.
So she went to Salmon Bay Park
Is that
first,
some kind of commune?
Looks
then
like
the
it.
watchmaker.
So weird to imagine her living in a community like that with, other people.
The weirdest part is how they all seem to love her. Where was prom queen Mary Ann when the whole town was turning on? That's the Gold Lady's castle.
Yeah, then Salmonberry. Oh, I need to deselect first. Okay.
That's the Gold Lady's castle.
Gole's Castle, Salmonberry
What's that
Park.
plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
Then the clock.
Some sort of clock?
And when's the party? I don't catch that one. I'll just
This
throw
looks
that.
like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old... This is the princess's... It seems like it's not doing anything. Maybe it's broken?
Okay, hang on. Let's do
What's
Salmonberry.
that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
Maybe
This looks like a dinner party with the
Party.
old bear and the very old beaver. Some sort of clock?
clock and home.
This is the princess's... Damn it. Why is nothing happening?
All right, let's look at the stuff again. The only dates I could clearly get off of here were, if I remember. So there's, oh, I need to turn this over. I
Is
bet I
that
can-
Carol?
Yeah,
can't turn it
and
over.
Sam. Look at him. He's so young and happy.
So we have a house. Maybe this letter tells more time frame. If I look at it carefully.
Both of her parents kind of sound like jerks. I would have run away too.
Her mom died on. Yeah, I don't think this tells much about her timeline. So I think it's definitely home, Salmonberry Park.
Wow. She worked for a watchmaker in Juneau before she moved to Delos. No wonder she was so handy.
Yeah, so I've been playing any of the games since. Not in streaming, I haven't. I'm thinking of ideas to do after this one. I play random little, usually lighthearted things on my downtime. I'm usually pretty tired by the time I just play games on my own, so I do silly ones like, or not necessarily silly, but easy to get into with minimal effort games like I've been doing Guacamelee, The Messenger. There's a Zelda clone
I'm
called
pretty sure everything in the stash was
something about
dated.
flowers.
Why don't we go take another look?
Everything in this, yeah, that's what I'm. Okay, so everything in here is dated. I'm pretty sure it's Castle, Salmonberry Compound.
Some sort of clock? This is the princess's house.
Okay, and maybe
This looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
there we go.
Yes.
I just had trouble nailing down
What's
the
in
last
there?
part.
Another letter?
Princess's Loss.
The princess's loss. Is this from the Book of Goblins?
Not that I know of.
Well, sure looks like it could be.
Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. She had made it through the woods into that house with nothing left but the clothes on her back and a single item from her old life, a splendid tiara. She lost almost everything in her desperate flight from the mad hunter. The trees tore the rucksack from her back and shredded her dress and left a pattern of red welts on her skin. But through it all, she clutched the tiara close to her chest, fearing any misstep could cause it to fall from her arms and break. The tiara had its own spot in the big wooden house, a pillow near the window where the sun would catch on the surface to shine and wink. The princess could stare for hours at the tiara, marveling in its beauty and running her thumb down its curves. Every morning she would wake and she would tend to it, polishing its every surface to be sure it shone as brightly as it possibly could. Then she would pluck it up, place it upon her head, and walk the woods feeling somehow more complete. Because what, after all, was a princess without a crown? Every night she would place it upon its pillow and give it a quick kiss and go to bed. On her way, she would pause and glance back to be sure it was still there. She hated to be separated from it, but she knew it was the safest on the pillow while she slept. So is the crown a baby? All right, I guess let's... Oh, there's more. One night, the princess woke to a raging storm. The wind howled against the walls, rattling the windows in their panes. Fearing a gust might burst open a window and blow the tiara to the ground, she plucked it from its pillow and brought it to bed with her. All through the night, she held the tiara close, and in the morning, she woke to find herself still cradling it. The storm had passed, and the princess relaxed. The day was the same as any other, though perhaps she gave the tiara an even more thorough cleaning, grateful as she was that nothing had gone wrong. That night, she placed the tiara upon its pillow, gave it a quick kiss, and went to bed, pausing on her way to be sure it was... Oh, I read that part already, I think. Sorry. In the morning, she woke and sensed immediately that something was wrong. In the living room, the tiara lay upon the ground, broken, dull, and faded. Nothing else in the room had changed. The pillow was exactly where she had left it. The window was closed. There had been no storm, no wind, no sign that anything at all could have gone amiss. Only the broken tiara moved upon the ground. She picked it up and held it in her arms with a guttural cry, but though she tried to fix it and polish it, it was gone, beyond repair and with no shine left. The princess held the tiara through the day and through the next night, sitting in the same spot in the window where she used to polish it. When the sun rose, she looked outside and her gaze fixed on a sapling. She remembered how this sapling had survived the winter, clinging to life despite the frozen, unforgiving earth. Without a word, she went out and buried the tiara in the ground underneath the sapling, and as the final scoop of dirt fell, the tiara felt truly alone, and with it, the final link to her old self. She could only go forward and find a new place for herself in this world, where she was no longer truly a princess in a tiara in a beautiful gown, but a wan woman alone in a deep and ancient wood. And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. Aye.
And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. That was the story she read us that night.
God, it makes sense now.
Yeah. She got pregnant. And she ran away to start a new life. And then she made her way to Delos Crossing, where she was finally happy. But then the baby died.
I can't even imagine how she must have felt. She left everything behind, built a whole new life for him. And then he was just gone.
I guess having us helps her move on. But when it looked like we were going to be taken away, she snapped. She She just couldn't lose any more children. It really wasn't anything we did.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this.
I don't either, but all I wanted was to understand what happened to her. And now I do.
Yeah. We still haven't seen what's in that chest. Okay, so how do we open it?
The princess lost her most precious treasure. That's why it all happened.
I still can't wrap my head around it.
The princess lost her most precious treasure. That's why it all happened.
I still can't wrap my head around it.
All right, should be easy enough.
All right, let's see what the options are, I guess.
All right, should be easy enough.
RLOSEA. What these are?
Back in your pond, Big Frog.
Oh, we put all the treasures back.
We'll let the mangy muskrat have his rock back. Gold Lady stays locked up in her castle.
I wonder if you need to collect more treasures to do more of these. Shoot, that kind of bums me that I missed some of those.
Why are these pictures from the Book of Goblins here?
I don't know. Why don't we solve this one first?
We'll solve the. So I'm guessing there's a letter. Oh, O-L-E. They're right there.
Why don't we just break this open? There's a crowbar right downstairs.
What? No. You don't want to try and figure out what all this means?
I'm so done with her riddles.
Okay, that's it, right? Or did I give it out of order? All right. O. Should be, I think it's O-L-E. That's the order those are in. Maybe there's more to this.
Why don't we solve this one first?
The princess lost her most. That crowbar is sounding pretty nice right now.
Or maybe, let's see. Oh, O is yellow. E is orange. Okay.
That crowbar is sounding pretty nice right now.
Quiet, Tyler. I'm solving the puzzle. I was trying to match them by the locations. E is orange.
That crowbar is sounding pretty nice right now.
Oh, it's Leo. Okay.
That crowbar is
Leo's-
sounding pretty nice right now.
Leo's probably the son's name.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Whoa.
Did it just get darker in here?
Oh, there's a letter.
Ollie. She noticed. I was her son. Why does she have a photo of that tree locked in here?
Is that...
Leo Ronan.
Why didn't she tell us about him? Why didn't she tell us any of this?
I mean, it's fucking terrible. That's why. Allie, did we do the right thing opening this?
We did. It's better we know what happened, even if it's hard. And there's one more thing we need to see.
Are you sure?
Yes. Come on, let's go to the dock. It's time to finish this.
For those who weren't here or don't remember,
Hey,
like
now that we're done with the important stuff, maybe we can take a crack at these?
going to the dock was so traumatizing to her she couldn't do it.
The crafty goblin's good deeds.
Of course. The goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the pelican.
Well, they removed a thorn from the frog's back. They helped fix the beaver dam. They broke open the beehive for the bear. Huh. They had to give nuts to the muskrat. They hugged the princess when she was crying. They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back.
Okay, so we want to look at the book for this one. Here's a bear and princess. Princess makes new friends. Would that be it? Oh, the Crafty Goblin's Good Deeds. Let's see if that's a story name of that. Goblins. Save the old beaver. Trick the muskrat. Oh, let's look at the goblin save the old beaver. Is that? In this one, it says the crafty goblins spied on the secret keeper as she made her rounds, gathering up animals. How does she have people's secrets? Let's find out. So they watched her. They watched her until the stalwart moose came to her, head hanging low. It was my fault. I chose the uneven trail. I can't better remember. Secret keeper nodded and gazed into the stalwart moose's eyes. Though the goblins couldn't hear anything, they knew she was speaking to the moose, for the secret keeper spoke in people's minds with a gift of the voice. After a few minutes, the moose blinked. I do feel lighter, said the moose. Did I just give you something? The secret keeper nodded, handing him a coin. The moose nodded and plodded along down the trail. He spied the goblins hiding in the woods with narrow eyes, and he knew the goblins were often up to mischief. Is the hand of the moose a coin? Is that part of this? Yeah, curious. We do get to do the the book. It's kind of the book. It can feel a little
Crafty
long sometimes to
goblins,
me,
good
but I do feel like we're
Of
missing a
course.
lot.
The
Of the story
goblins
with
had
that.
to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the pelican.
Well, what did they do? Maybe not.
Wait, I scratched.
They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back.
Okay, I guess we have to. Goblins save old beaver. Old beaver on working on a dam. One of the new rivers came rushing in. She screeched and squealed. She was caught in the flooding. Help, she called. Oh, there's more to these stories. I'm flipping through the whole other story when you're supposed to use the button to do more of it. Crafty goblins had been running back to the cave under the big wooden house when they heard the beaver's cries. We have to go help the beaver, one goblin cried. You go one way, I'll go the other. They ran, keeping in touch with the gift of voice. Finally, one of them spotted her, twisting and tumbling into the river, but she was on the opposite side of the water, and the goblin could not reach her. Brother, the sister goblin called out through the gift of voice. I see her, but I can't get her. Maybe you can, I'll try. The goblin guided her brother so he could hit the river in just the right spot. Plan worked, and soon the second goblin appeared in just the right spot. Beaver, he shouted, holding out a branch. Grab hold of this. The beaver grabbed it, but in her surprise, she pulled the goblin in two. No, cried the sister. She ran as hard as her legs could go, managing to outpace the river and get ahead of the beaver and her brother. Searching for some means of getting them out, they spied low enough hanging branch. They'd zip by it quickly, but if they're fast enough. Brother, she cried out using the gift. You're coming up on a low-hanging branch. You'll zip by it quickly, but if you're fast enough. Got it, said her brother. And then he said to the beaver, get ready to grab a hold of a low-hanging branch. We're going to zip by it quickly, but if we're fast enough. Suddenly they were right in front of it and reached out, snagging hold of the water. They beat against them, trying to shake them loose. They pulled themselves along the branch back to dry land. When they were all safe, the very old beaver thanked the goblins. But how? Did you just know where to find me? And how did you know that branch was coming? The goblins shared a secret smile. Just lucky, I guess, they said. And that is how the goblins saved the very old beaver from the flooding river, and how she never knew they did it. By the way, for those of you who haven't followed along with all this, the twins can use...
Crafty goblins, good deeds.
Of course.
Or not.
Their voices, they're basically telepathic with each other.
Maybe not.
Okay, so I'm just
Or
going to flip over any that
Wait.
I don't know that they've done.
Maybe not.
Okay, so they did...
Wait.
Oh.
They helped fix the beaver dam.
Did they help? I can't remember. I think they did. That's what they did, right? All right. Meet the ice troll, trick the muskrat. I don't think they were very nice to the muskrat. Moose teaches the goblins. Goblins were hungry. That wasn't unusual. They were always hungry. Pile of nuts and berries and just one strip of dried fish. They went into the woods to look for more to eat. First, they dropped by a small pond. The big frog was asleep, and beside the pond was a pile of insects she caught for eating after she woke up. The goblins crept up to the pile, careful not to wake the big frog. But as they got close, she ribbited loudly and they froze. But the big frog kept sleeping. I'm having trouble here, guys. Sorry. So they grabbed the pile of insects and gobbled it up, but they were still hungry. As they crept back into the woods, they found the stalwart moose watching them. Did you steal the big frog's food? I wonder why they repasted that over. Oops. Goblins try not to look guilty, but failed. She said we could have them. Oh, really? Said the moose. Let's ask her. So the moose woke up Big Frog and asked, did you say the goblins could have your food? Frog looked at the goblins, who she knew were always hungry, and nodded. Yes, I did. Really, said the moose. Frog nodded, and the moose sighed. All right, then, she said, and he had to let the goblins go. It sounds like maybe the chief and what's her name from the store. Their next stop was the river. They watched as Old Bear swiped at leaping salmon, catching it deftly in his large paws. He lay out on a rock and left it to dry, lumbering up to the woods to seek out some berries. The crafty goblins crept up to the rock carefully in case Old Bear returned. They reached the rocks, grabbed the salmon, and gobbled it all up, but they were still hungry. As they crept back into the woods, the stalwart moose was once again waiting for them. Are you going to tell me Old Bear said you could have that? Yes, replied the goblins. Old Bear ambled up at that moment, and Moose asked him, did you leave that fish out for the goblins? Old Bear looked at the goblin, who knew they were always hungry, and nodded. I did, he said. Really, asked the moose. Really, said the Old Bear. After Moose left, Old Bear said to the goblins, be sure to tell the princess I was kind to you and didn't steal my fish again. The goblins, still hungry, went out looking for one more meal. Mangry muscat. So they did the same thing to muskrat. Stalwart Moose haggled it by the seats of their pants, said, now I know mangy muskrat didn't tell you could eat his food because he blames you for his coat being ruined. Besides, he has barely enough for himself and doesn't share with anyone. The goblins began to protest, but he shook his head. He set the goblins down and said, "Come with me." The goblins followed the stalwart moose to a part of the river where it ran slow enough for them to walk back into safety. Oh, the chief is a moose. We found that early in the story, and he calls Alyson. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, he definitely, the moose definitely felt like him, but I forgot about that part. Thank you for reminding me. He gave them each a fishing line and said, "I'm going to teach you to fish so that when you're hungry, you do not need to steal from the animals of the forest. It will be hard work, but it will be honest." The crafty goblins were not against hard work. They're just hungry, and they listened to the moose and soon pulled the wiggling fish out of water. They ate them up, and finally they're no longer hungry. That's how the moose came to fish, to teach the crafty goblins how to fish. All right, so
The crafty goblin's good deeds.
Of course. The goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the pelican.
Well, what did they do?
You know, I don't really remember.
So this is all probably in the Pelican Forgives the Goblin story, maybe? Let's look. I really kind of need to wrap up fairly soon here, but I want to solve this one first. Pelicans help our friends. All right. Pelican helps her friends. Let's try this. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, an early winter storm blanketed everything in snow. It was so early in the year that the creatures of the forest were not yet ready for an ordinary winter, much less a bad one, and everyone agreed a storm was a sign the Ice King had plans for a long, cold winter. The princess had grown up in a kingdom where it was sunny all year long, and the goblins were very young, so no one in the big wooden house knew how to prepare for such a winter. The house was not well insulated, and they did not have enough food or fuel or food. Only the pious pelican noticed their plight, and when it came time to fly south with the other birds, her heart was heavy with sadness. "What do I do?" she thought. I'm a migratory bird. If I were to stay, who would look after my flock?" The time came to go, and the pelican struggled to take flight. It felt as though it were laden with it felt as though a leaden weight were stuck right in the center of her chest. "What can I do?" she thought. "I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, who would look after my flock?" Ah, it's the same thing. She managed to take off, but only just barely, flapping fiercely enough to catch up with the other birds. As Pious Pelican began her journey, the storm picked up, battering her to and fro. She had fallen well behind the flock, and she was already growing tired. But for all her challenges in the air, she could tell things were much worse on the ground. A deep freeze had settled over the forest. The leaden weight in her chest grew heavier as she thought of the princess and the goblins. "What can I do?" she thought. "I'm a migratory bird, and if I were to stay, who would look after my flock?" The storm intensified, and the pelican was in a total whiteout. She knew she would have despaired, but all she could feel was the weight, which had grown and grown until she thought she might drop out of the sky. She had felt called to help the princess and the goblins, but she had ignored it. "I should have stayed," she thought. "It was the right thing to do, and now I'm lost, with no way to make it right." Suddenly, she was plucked from the sky and deposited in the hall of the Ice King. "Pelican," he said, "you were flying in circles around my mountain." "I was lost," she said, weighted down by the weight of guilt in my heart. The Ice King stared at her sagely. "Is it guilt, or is it something else? Open your beak." He reached down inside her, pulling out a glowing stone. The pious pelican was surprised at how it filled her with warmth, chasing away cold and doubt. "You know what you must do," said the Ice King. The pious pelican flew straight to the big wooden house. Snow had already blown in through its many cracks, and ice crept across the floorboards. She found the princess and the goblins huddled in front of the quiet hearth, nearly frozen solid. "No," she cried, and then she placed the stone in the princess's lap. The warmth of it had spread through the whole of the house, melting all that had frozen. The princess threw her arms around the pelican's chest, and the goblins clung to her legs. "Thank you," they cried. "You're welcome," said the pelican, smiling in deep satisfaction. "What is that?" asked the princess, staring at the wonderful stone. "At first," said the pelican, "I thought it was my guilt, but when the Ice King pulled it out of me, I realized it was something much more powerful." Just then, the storm broke and the skies cleared. The pelican filled the big wooden house's larder with food from her beak. And then she took to the skies, lightened by the knowledge that through her charity, everyone in the big wooden house will be warm and fed until spring. And that is the story of how the pious pelican saved the wise princess and the crafty goblins from the long winter.
The
Sorry about
crafty
that.
goblin's good deeds.
Of course, the goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the pelican.
Well, what did they do?
You know, I don't really remember.
Pay off their debt to the pelican. The goblins. I wonder if I need. I feel like I maybe need to get this from multiple parts, but none of these stories I'm finding seem to be about them helping the other animals in the way, at least that I see in the picture. I'm going to try the pelican figures of the goblins. If I don't find what I need here, I'm probably going to have to wrap up for the night. But we'll read one more story. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins in a cave below a big wooden house. They lived with a wise princess who shared as much food with them as she was able, but it was never quite enough. This left the goblins hungry, very hungry, always hungry. One day, as they were out foraging for food, the pious pelican landed on a rock and dumped a smorgasbord from her beak, which the goblins knew was magic and never emptied. There were king crabs in red, blue, gold, and scarlet, veiny blue shrimp, pink shelled scallops, oblong brown clams, purple spiny urchins, and even one prickly red sea cucumber. The food just kept coming. They watched as the pelican ate one clam and then took a nap. Do you think she would mind if we took just a little? Asked one goblin to the other. Her beak never empties. She won't possibly miss a couple of crabs. Okay, so the pelican seems clearly to be, I forget her name, the lady who owns the store. So they crept over, filched some crabs, and ran. You don't hear filched very often. The goblins scarfed the crabs, but when they finished, they found they were still hungry. She won't miss a handful of shrimp, said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the shrimp, but when they finished, they found they were still hungry. Maybe also a few scallops, said one goblin to the other. The goblins scarfed the scallops, but when they were hungry, they found that they were still. When they finished, they found they were still hungry. So they went back for clams and then urchins and finally the sea cucumber. Finally, when they were not hungry, but there was also nothing. Finally, they were not hungry, but there was also nothing left. Just then, the pelican woke up. What happened to my food? She asked. Unable to lie about it, the goblins confessed their crime. The pelican was dismayed, but she was a charitable-hearted bird, and she could tell the crafty goblins were growing little creatures. I'm so fascinated by the fact that they layer this new text over it. You can just see, I don't know if you can tell on your screen, but you can just see under it, you can see some example under example. It's weird. Goblin said the pious pelican, I will share my food with you, but you must in return follow my example and be as generous with others as I am with you. Take that to heart, and I will consider your debt paid. But we have nothing to give, said the goblins. You have your nimble hands and your crafty brains and your loving hearts, said the pelican. The crafty goblins realized how much they had to give, and for the rest of the day, they looked for ways to help the other creatures of the forest. Okay, I think we're on the right story now. They found the stalwart moose struggling with an itchy, hard-to-reach spot on his back, and so they climbed up to give it a good scratching. Okay, so they scratched the moose. Help me remember this. Next, they helped the old bear who could not get honey out of a narrow beehive. They climbed up to the top of the tree with a hive, and they dropped it, cracking it open. Finally, they found the princess crying over a loss she would not speak about. So they wrapped their little arms around her in a great big hug and stayed until she felt better. That's a powerful part of the story, and you know what happened. This is a hell of a contrast in the writing we witnessed on Zadanza tonight. Yeah, in terms of quality and also kindness versus mean-spiritedness. When they were done, they returned to the pious pelican. Did it feel good being as generous as I am? Asked the pelican. It did, said the goblins. I'm glad, said the pelican. We all have problems that we can't solve on our own, but if everyone goes about with generosity in their hearts, there is always someone on hand to help. But we all must commit to do so, or there will be no one there to help when you need it. This made sense to the goblins, and they thanked the pious pelican for her food and the lesson. Of course, by this time they were hungry again, and that remained an ongoing problem until the day the stalwart moose taught them to fish, but that is another story. Now this is how the pious pelican forgave the crafty goblins and how she taught them charity. Okay, so they helped the moose, the bear, and the princess.
The
That's
crafty
easy enough.
goblins' good deeds.
Of course,
so
the
don't help the
goblins had to
beaver.
help out the creatures.
Maybe not.
Drop the beehive.
They broke open the beehive for the bear.
Scratch the moose.
They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back.
And hug the princess.
They hugged the princess when she was crying. Nailed it. Our lives would have been so different if their friendship hadn't gone to shit.
Pelican Crossing is a specialty gift boutique located near the O'Shea Glacier, catering to the Gatineau Channel tourists as well as the Delos Crossing locals. We specialize in an assortment of high-quality products from home accessories, handmade souvenirs, to personalized apparel and locally made art. The Pelican Crossing will be the first store to act as a relay between the buzzing arts and craft scene and customers. I'm from Florida, Drew Harrison says, and I can tell you that pelicans are actually thieves and not generous at all. Well, that rings true, I guess, if they're anything like, say, seagulls. In addition to the wide array of novelty handcrafted products, the consumer will enjoy friendly and knowledgeable customer service from Vecchi store co-owner Tessa Vecchi. Okay, Tessa is the pelican I was thinking about. And up-and-coming artist Marianne Roan. Oh, okay, so they were like going into business together. The business plans were prepared to obtain financing in the amount of $20,000 to purchase inventory and to help cover expenses in the first year of operations. In year one, the Pelican Crossing plans to break even, and in year two, we plan to generate a moderate profit. Working on the executive summary part of our business plan. What do you think, Tessa? Huh. That's really interesting. So they have a bit more history there. Okay, there's actually 3 more of these, so I should probably wrap up now. If there was just one, I was going to be tempted, but yeah, I should probably objective leave the loft. Well, I want to do all these puzzles first. All right, I'll just remove that for now. Yeah, appreciate everybody joining me. I hope I didn't cut off too abruptly. I definitely am getting into this last part of the game. I did not see that coming up in the loft, but it's maybe a little implausibly elaborate and, very, very well preserved. So I don't think we're really looking for this to be super realistic from a literal perspective. I think it's obviously kind of metaphorical of them just uncovering their mom's history. We've learned a lot, but it's still confusing, Hollyhock says. Yeah, I agree. But I definitely want to dig into this more. I'll pick this up again, I think, on Wednesday next week. So I look forward to seeing you all there. And it feels like we spent a bit of time on this tonight, but it didn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel satisfying to me how much we got done, but I really do have to kind of settle in and start going to bed. So have a good night, everybody. And thanks for joining me. And I will see you next time. Have a good night. I'm going to hit end stream here and then awkwardly sit until it shuts off. Yeah, Curious, thank you for suggesting the game as well. All right, have a good night, guys.